After the former Soviet Union withdrew from Afghanistan in 1989, the country descended into civil war. The Taliban emerged from this infighting in 1996. It was during this time that Osama bin Laden and the terrorist organisation Al-Qaeda began operating in the country. Following the terrorist attacks in New York and Washington on 11th of September 2001, and with Al-Qaeda as the prime suspects, US President George W. Bush declared a war on terror. Australia invoked the ANZUS Treaty to support the US effort, and so began Australia's longest war, with many members of the Australian Defence Force serving on multiple deployments to the conflict in the region over the following years. Australia's military commitment to the war on terror and radical extremism began on 11th of October 2001 with Operation Slipper. From then until April 2002, Australian SAS squadrons participated in operations in the mountainous regions south of Kabul. They conducted reconnaissance and surveillance, searching for Taliban and Al-Qaeda fighters and their bases. Their capabilities and professionalism earned them high praise from American commanders. The war paused inconclusively in mid-2002 as the United States became focused on Saddam Hussein's regime in Iraq. Australian forces returned to Afghanistan in September 2005. For the next 8 years, their efforts were focused on helping to secure and stabilise Uruzgan province in southern Afghanistan against Taliban and militant insurgencies and supporting the Afghan government. Australia's commitment became part of the NATO-led International Security Assistance Force. Australia's Special Operation Forces in Uruzgan maintained pressure on insurgent and terrorist networks by identifying and targeting leaders and key individuals, as well as supporting anti-narcotic operations, often being involved in some of the fiercest fighting Australian troops had encountered since the Vietnam War. In addition to Special Operation Forces, between 2006 and 2008, Australia committed a reconstruction task force to Uruzgan to help construct schools, medical facilities, bridges, and patrol bases, while training Afghan youths in carpentry and other trades. From late 2008, Australia's military focus shifted to mentoring Afghan forces through the Mentoring and Reconstruction Task Force, and from 2010 through the Mentoring Task Force. The main aim of the mentoring was to provide facilities, training and support to the Afghanistan National Army so that they could continue a military presence against the insurgent Taliban. Australian forces were equipped with a variety of specialist equipment and vehicles. These included the Australian-designed and manufactured Bushmaster protected mobility vehicle. These vehicles became a lifesaver on the battlefield due to the protection they offered their occupants from small arms fire, mines and IEDs.
You all right, mate?
The ubiquitous improvised explosive device, along with suicide bombings in public areas, were indiscriminate tactics that were as likely to kill or injure Afghan civilians as security forces or Australian and coalition soldiers. As the IED threat increased, so too did the demand for the skills of the Special Operations Engineer Regiment, who would go out to locate, defuse, or destroy the IEDs, saving countless lives. Specially trained explosive detection dogs, or EDDs, were also seen as lifesavers. They were trained to locate explosives and ammunition along tracks and in building compounds. Assault dogs also joined the frontline fight with Australia's Special Operations Forces and were highly effective in sniffing out hidden insurgents as they lay in wait, often attacking and latching onto an insurgent while under fire. Over time, Australian forces became involved in the wider war, fighting in neighbouring Helmand and Kandahar provinces alongside coalition forces. Operation Slipper ended in 2014 with some 30,000 Australian Defence Force personnel and government civilians involved in the commitment to Afghanistan between 2001 to 2014. Today, approximately 400 Australian Defence Force personnel are still stationed in Afghanistan as trainers and advisors, with many more ADF personnel remaining in the Middle East region. The Australian War Memorial commemorates 43 Australians who died during the conflict or as a result of their service. More than 260 others were physically wounded in Afghanistan, while many more continue to suffer physically or psychologically.